Hi creatives, and you're welcome to my tutorial again today. In today's tutorial, I'll be treating how to make this beautiful gown that you can see on the screen. On the left is my inspiration and on the right is my work. Let's get right into it. Here I have my half scale block already drafted, and I am trying to make the markings very clear. That is what I'm doing right here. I'm marking the neck. Now I will go ahead and mark my underbust. Okay, see the horizontal line I am making there. Towards the side I make 3/4 inch, and towards the center is just 1/2 inch. I hope you understand. Okay, so see how I am joining the dart leg from the underbust to the waistline. That is what I'm doing right here. And the next I will be curving it. Just watch closely to understand every bit of what I am doing, okay? I'm just trying to make the mark clearer. Now I have marked any excess that is lost from the dart, okay? Any extra dart that is added while I am drawing that waistline, that is what I just added there, okay? Any extra that is on the dart, I just added it to the side seam. Okay, so right here I am marking the bust. Just watch closely to see what I am doing. I'm trying to draw the on the bust line. Watch closely. Aside what I'm saying, just watch closely and you will understand perfectly. I've connected it to the 3/4 inch mark. That is the on the bust. Okay, I will go ahead and also curve to the 1/4 inch mark at the center. Can you see that? So that is all I did for that. I'm just trying to make my lines clearer, okay, to make my lines more visible. So right here I am pointing on my armhole, and I'll be marking the mid of the armhole. That is what I just did there, and I'll be connecting this point to my bust point. Watch closely to see what I am doing. I am using my pattern master to do this. You can also use your armhole curve to do this very thing that I am doing now. Okay, so that is what I am doing right here. I am connecting the point I marked on my armhole to my bust point. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to mark 1 inch down from that point. Okay, when you locate 1 inch down from this point, we will also be connecting this to the bust point. I hope you understand. That is all I am doing here. I'm connecting it to the bust point, making my marks very clear. Okay, can you see that? That place I'm shading now will be going out. Everywhere I am shading right now will be going out. It won't be part of this pattern eventually. Okay, now we are extending the second line we marked. Okay, we are extending it. I'm extending it here by 1 inch. I've extended it by 1 inch. I'm just measuring to confirm where 1 inch is, and I will smoothing this to the armhole. That is all I'm doing. I am using my pattern master. The armhole curve part of the pattern master is what I'm using to do this curve. If you are not okay using this, you can use your free hand to make the curve, but armhole curve will also give you that, will always give you that smooth finish. Okay, so right here I'm marking the bust point. I'm just marking it B. It's very, very important, so that when you are cutting on fabric, you will know where your bust point is. Here I'm checking my neck drop. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. I'm dropping my neck by about 1.5 inches. I also marked 1.5 by the side neck, and I'm connecting. I'm going ahead to connect these 2 points using my armhole curve. Okay, watch closely, you will understand every bit of what I am doing. Now I'm going ahead to also draw a v-neck. You can see that on the style, you can see how I made mine V, because that is what I actually want. Okay, so that is why I marked the point I want the v-neck to drop to. That is what I just marked here, about 6 inches from the basic neck point, and I'm connecting it to our new neckline by the side of the shoulder. I hope you understand. Just watch closely. You will understand every bit of what I am doing. Okay, so that is all for that, and I'm just trying to make it clearer. I hope you understand. This point now will be the yoke, the little yoke at the center front. Okay, that is what I just did right here. If you want your own to be curved, go ahead and make your own curved, just as you can see on the inspiration style. That is what I just described right now. Okay, now label your patterns so that you will know exactly which is which. Now I'm going over to the back pattern. There is nothing much to do on the back than sliding the shoulder. You know, we took out 1.5 inch from the side of the neck in front. That is what I am doing right now. I'm going ahead to also take the same 1.5 inches from the neck. You can see that, and just feel free to drop your neck the way you want. Okay, I'm just choosing a neck style that I will like. Feel free to choose your own styling. Okay, this is my own. Okay, but just make sure that by the side of the neck at that shoulder is 1.5. You marked 1.5 from the neck at the shoulder, because that is the same thing we did from the front, so that there won't be any difference along your shoulder line. All right, so having done that, the next thing to do now, I'm just marking where we'll be going out. I've chosen my neckline for the back, and that is what I just did. I'll just go ahead right now and cut this out. Okay, cut it out, and that is it. This is my yoke. I'm trying to cut out my patterns and label it so that there won't be confusion. Here I will also cut out the front pattern. I'm cutting out the side front. Okay, beautiful. You can see the yoke there. That is a little piece of paper there. I'm marking my underbust. I'm also marking the underbust on the center front. Very, very important, because the shape, by the time you cut it out on fabric, you may be confused where the underbust is. So it's very, very important to mark this. Very, very important. Now I'm cutting out the back tightening. Okay, if you want to know how to make a basic bodice block or a half scale block to sew foundation, I'll link it up in the description box so that you will see it, and maybe this basic pattern will be clearer to you. That is if you don't already know how it is drafted. So here I am going ahead to close the side bust dart at the side of the pattern. That is what I'm doing right now. Okay, I have placed a paper beneath it so that I'll be able to true the side, because by the time you close your side dart, you will notice that it is shortened, and you definitely need to make up this. Some people usually just add excess at this side, but I like closing it up and then amending it, just as you can see me do. Now I'm truing the pattern to, you know, fill up any excess that may have been lost by that side by closing the dart. That is what I'm doing right now. Watch closely. It's very easy, it's simple, just as I'm doing it. It's not hard. Okay, I'm taping it down to keep it steady while I cut it out. So that will be all for that side front. Please try and watch this video to the end so that you will not miss any part of this video. Okay, so that you will understand everything. So I've made up this side, and this is what we have. Beautiful, lovely. Please, you have to be careful with your patterns, all right, because that makes the fit of the dress. This is my fabric that I'll be using, and the lace that I'll be using for this design. Okay, so you watch me. I'll go ahead and cut it, and then I will show you what I have. Here I have placed my fabric on. I've placed my pattern on the fabric, and I'm going ahead to cut. Okay, I'll cut it out, and I'll apply hasty and every other interfacing I'll be needing for the bust padding and the rest. I can't, you know, show everything in the video so that it won't be too long, but I hope you understand. I'll show you by the time I finish cutting my linings and the rest. I'll be showing you each stage. Okay, here I am marking my allowance. I like doing this, right? I like doing it so that it won't be, I won't start looking for my seam allowance when I want to join my fabrics. So that is the essence of these notches. You just follow the notches, and joining your fabric will be very, very easy for you. Okay, that is what I'm doing. I'm marking the underbust, the bust points. I'm notching every bit of any point that I will be needing while joining the dress. Okay, I'm marking my allowance there, and this is what I have. You can see that already. Yes, you can see how the shape of this pattern is now. You can't tell where the underbust or the bust point is. I mean this middle front. So without these notches, it will be very difficult to tell where each point is. So now that is the essence. I'm going ahead to mark the back side of this fabric because it's somehow difficult to tell. It's a very lovely fabric though. Okay, so I will go ahead and also cut out my yoke. You can see my yoke there. I'm cutting it out with the lace. Okay, I will also be using this lace to cut part of the sleeve. I will mention here that you will use the stretchy part the way I am showing you horizontally. Vertically, make sure it's the part of the lace that does not really stretch. Very important, so that you won't have a lot of work to do as per trimming off or managing stretch. Okay, that is how it is done. I'll use that part of the fabric to cut out my sleeve. Okay, now this is my yoke. I have cut it out. That is the yoke at the neckline, okay, at the center front. I hope you understand. Now this is what I have. Beautiful, very lovely. So I'll go ahead and cut my lining. Here I have cut my lining, and for the yoke I cut a nude net to use and line it. Okay, beautiful. You can see my yoke there. I have gone ahead to cut a nude net for it. Okay, now you join me while I'll go ahead and apply my interfacing on this fabric. I've already applied it, my hairstay, my wording. You can see how I cut it out. You can see my wording there. I hope you understand. You can see the hairstay, the wording, how I applied it on the lining and the rest. Okay, I can't show you the whole process because of time. Even the sleeve, you can see how I stabilized the neckline of the lining for the back. Okay, and for the back side I just applied hairstay on the fabric, and this is the yoke. I've gone ahead to turn this yoke with the nude net that you saw earlier. I've turned it already and ironed it in place, ready to be fixed into the fabric. I did not cover the sleeve of this dress in this very video so that it will not be too long, but in my next video I will be uploading the sleeve part of this style. Okay, I'm going ahead to make it very conspicuous, the underbust and the bust points and the rest, so that while joining it will be very easy. Make sure you match your underbust. You see how I arranged it? Ensure that your own is like that. So I'll go ahead and join and start joining my seams. Okay, I'll start sewing. You can see the outcome right here. I've already joined the neckline of the back. I've also stitched the darts. Is to notch and top stitch, okay, and iron out. Now for the front, I am going to apply the yoke. Watch closely to see how I applied this yoke. It's a very tricky one, and if you don't watch closely you will not understand how it is done. Now watch closely to see how I fixed this yoke. All right, some people will fix it on the surface and use applique to close up any rough edge, but that is not what I want to do. I want to sandwich it between the lining and the fabric. Okay, now watch closely. I'm going ahead to notch that center point. Okay, beautiful, and I'll be placing it as you can see me do, ensuring that that notch is rhyming. Okay, I have to zoom this in more so that you understand. Yeah, you will ensure that it is matching as you can see me do, and I'll pin it down, and then I will go ahead and stitch. I'll go ahead and stitch, and I'll go ahead and stitch on the machine. Can you see that? Now I have a notch there. I'm going to make another notch on the fabric, on that V point of the fabric, okay, and turn it over. You can see how I am turning it over. Sorry, at this point I didn't know that what I was doing was not really showing, but I know that you will still understand. Okay, this, I just flipped it over. I just notched that V point of the fabric. I just cut it and flipped it through. Okay, that way the yoke will just relax very well for you. And I went ahead to pin it down just as you can see me do. That was all I did there. The only thing I did at that part that was missing was just to notch the middle of that fabric. Okay, I've gone ahead to sew, and this is what I have. You can see how flat and beautiful it is laid. Very lovely. Now the next thing to do is to apply my lining to this. Okay, this is my lining. I've already coupled it. Now it is remaining to join the neck part. All right, so I will be joining my lining to this fabric with yoke right now, such that the yoke will be between the lining and the fabric. All right, so this is what I'm doing. I'm placing my lining just as you can see me do. I'm notching it. This is exactly what I did at that point that did not show on this video. Okay, I just notched the middle part of the lining so that it will lay flat and smooth for me as I join it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pin it down, and then I will stitch. So that is all for that neck. So friends, if you have not subscribed to my channel at this point, go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? And turn on your notification bell to be the first to know each time I upload a lovely tutorial. I'll be more frequent this time because I have lots of things in store to share with you. All right, so right here I have stitched the yoke. I've stitched the lining, one side of the lining, and I will go ahead and pin down the second side just as you can see me do. It's as easy as that. Just pin it down and stitch. After you have stitched, you can top stitch. The essence of top stitching is to ensure that everything is laying smooth and fine for you. If you don't top stitch, you are going to have issues with the flatness of your seams. So I've gone ahead to top stitch, and I've also ironed. You can see how beautiful it is looking. You can see how lovely it is looking. So lovely, so beautiful. I'll go ahead and cut my skirt. I also have a tutorial on skirts. Maybe I'll link it up in the description box so that you will see it, just in case you want to see. So that is what I did. I cut my skirt and I joined it to this half scale block. That is all I did there. As you can see how beautiful is already looking. I'm almost coming to the end. I sandwiched the front into the back shoulder. That's how I joined the shoulder parts of this beautiful dress. I put in the front inside the back. That is on the shoulder. The front shoulder is in between the back fabric and the back lining at the shoulder. Okay, so I will go ahead and stitch the side of this beautiful dress and weave the down and also hem it. I will also use my hemming gun to turn this middle, okay, this slits. I'll use my hemming gun. I just pinned my zipper allowance down for ease of stitching. I've gone ahead to stitch the sides, and this is what I have. You can see how lovely it's looking, but I'll not treat the sleeve in this very tutorial so that it will not be too long, but in the next, which I'll be uploading really soon, I'll be treating the sleeve part of this dress. Okay, you can see how lovely it's looking when I wore it. So beautiful. You can see how lovely it is looking. Do you like it? Thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next one. Bye.